Hello, hello. Welcome to this very quickly put together Reaper tutorial. All right, you go to Reaper, you download it. You download it through a 64-bit. Don't bother with anything other bit. I don't even think they have that as an option. And it's both for Windows, Mac, or Linux. So do your thing, download it. Now, it will save it. Always save something like this in your applications folder. And then I open it. And you do not have to pay for Reaper. It will remind you, it will say, hey, please pay. But you can just ignore it and keep testing it. Eventually, you might want to do the right thing and ignore it. And pay for it. Now, I already started a few tracks. A particular student wanted to put orchestration into the soundtrack. We're not going to do that right now. We're going to do the first steps towards that. So I do want to remind you that this is like Audacity times 100. It has all the same kind of things as Audacity. You can record in audio. You can edit similar stuff. You can add reverb and things like that. But for now, we're just going to focus on, at least in this tutorial, focus on the MIDI part. Okay, what if you don't have a keyboard? Here is, I have a ton of MIDI keyboards. Here's my main one, and I have one over here. I don't know if this thing. This is a MIDI cable to the computer. Now, you might not have one, which is fine. You can start with just using the virtual MIDI keyboard. So before we even do that, I'm going to ignore these stuff that I already just kind of added and was testing. And what you do is, in order to start, we can actually delete all these. Yes. Delete. Yes. Delete. We don't need that. Okay. Let's start from fresh. So you got a fresh track. And what you want to do is insert. And right now, we don't want, we don't want to do audio. We don't want to mess with audio right now. We want to do, again, a virtual instrument. And that's what this tutorial is on. Maybe the next tutorial we'll talk about bringing in audio. So, virtual instrument and new track. You go to VSTI. And for kicks, just go to, you should have Helm in your laptop by now. But today we're just going to do the Reaper synth, the basic, and we're going to add. And that looks okay. All looks good. You can mess around with the volume, things like this, but we're not going to mess with that all right. We're just going to make sure that we have it in there and test it. Let's pretend that this is not here. So it has its Reason synth, REA synth. That looks good. It looks like it's all good. So this is a mute or solo. Don't worry about phase normal. And we want to make sure that you can basically go down here and hit virtual keyboard. And that'll get you going playing this on your laptop. Z, you can hear that kind of low tone. Not too bad. This is actually a pretty good synth. So that's a Z, B, and this is one of the better virtual MIDI keyboards that I have seen because it has more of a variety. Anyhow. Let's now make sure, just in case, you got to double check to make sure that input virtual MIDI keyboard all channels, and that should be good. How do you record this? Let's do it. All you have to do is hit, hold on, that's the mixer. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a mixer on the bottom, and you'll see here, this is where the sound waves or the MIDI information will be. So, all right, so I want to record just something very simple in like the key of C. So I would hit Z. Let's just test it. Oh, hold on. Oops, cancel. Hold on. I see. Yeah, let's do Q and E and T. So I'm just gonna. Okay. All right. Looks like it's pretty good. I won't worry about. You can bring down the level here a little bit. I guess I could use a little bit. All right. So let's do that again. And let me see. That was Q, E, and T. On the keyboard, that's actually what it is. Nope. Sorry. Q, E, and T. Okay, just testing that out. All right, that seems reasonable right now. I simply hit record. And I want to, oops, make sure this is. Let's try to get the U in there. And that's pretty much all it is. I did a C chord. Stop. And you always save. Save all. And where does it go? It goes into, here, I'll show you where it goes. It's okay, the default area where it goes to, which is documents, is totally fine. Reaper Media, just leave it there. You can, if you want your own special folder, put it inside Reaper Media. It's a perfect, and I call this Basic Helm synth. I'll even rename this. All right. So how does that sound? Then this is where you go back, and it's like Audacity. You know, let's see. Maybe let's click on over here and start it here and try to see what it sounds like. And it works. That's awesome. Also, if you hit return, so this moves the that'll start it. So a lot of the same basic stuff that you got from Audacity. So there is so we laid down this one track, right? So we want to lay down another track. And let's start from scratch again. So there's two ways of bringing in. I said insert virtual instrument on new track. There is, you can also double click and then find that instrument, and I'm gonna put in a helm again. Add, there's a helm. Let's put this aside, and with everything, and then you want to write down helm. Let's call it helm 1 because you may not have more than one. And notice that it's green and on. So you won't be able to record because it's not, the red is not, and just in case, if this red needs to be disengaged because you will record over it if you have this. So take the red out of that, click that, unclick that, click this one because this is what you're going to be, now this track you're going to be recording as the helm, and then the virtual instrument disappeared. So virtual MIDI keyboard, again, checked, make sure it works, and it doesn't work. So the reason it doesn't work is because you have to make sure that that is engaged, that's on, now it's working. And notice that the red I mean, this sound is going up on this one and not in this one, so that's a good sign that you. So now you can just record this track and not record over this one. So I think I want to do the same thing, boring, but a C. So how about just do that? And I'm going to anything else I need to remember? No, should work. Oops, make sure to go back. All right, save all. So you got a masterpiece. Amazing. So let's try it out and see if it sounds like anything. Just for kicks, maybe always unclick the red so it's in play mode. All right, let's try it and see if they both work. All right, and of course you will want to do some lowering in the mix, and you can do that later. That's about right. Okay, so you got 2 tracks now. That is awesome. But what if you made a mistake in one of the tracks? Check this out. You double click. We're on this one, and I think you double click, and that goes into, and notice these aren't sound waves. These are MIDI kind of blocks. And say that you made a mistake and you want to start a little bit sooner. You can drag it. Or say you want to add a lower, you can do that. You can play around with, notes, the length, and all of that is here. I don't think, 132 grid's fine. Straight, notes, grid, color, velocity. That looks all good. Key snap makes it snap to, different. You don't really need that key snap. What else? Yeah, I think that let's try this again. Let's add another, but that should be fine. So a lot to play with here. So I added another. Very loud. And I'll get back into how to bring the velocity up if you need that. There is a trick where you can just copy that and paste and bring another one. So you have the same velocity as that. Hold on. So there you go. Anything else? I think that's it. And always save. Everything else is very similar to Audacity, such as you can add reverb through the effects. You can add. Here's a master window. You can do things like, I don't know, get in here and say you want this to be smaller is negative, positive, plus makes it longer. You can import, import audio. All the audio stuff we can do next, but this is to get going on Reaper. So hopefully this helps. Of course, save. What if you want to, I'm just guessing it right now, I guess if you want to export it, you select all. Yeah, that's what you do. Consolidate, export, and they go to Wave, AIFF, all of these. I definitely recommend Wave. And then you'll process it, and then you'll have your track there ready to go. So that is the very, very basics of Reaper and how to use a MIDI keyboard in there and how to edit inside of the MIDI area. All right, what are some super basic stuff? Okay, so what if this was too long? You want it, what if the end is too long? You shift like that. Both of them are selected. You want to select one at a time. When you basically go to the edge and you pull or expand. Go to the edge and you let's move this over. We saw you pull or expand, like you wanted to cut. This is a bunch of nothing right in here. So I want to get rid of that. You want to go all the way. So you want to have a little bit of intro of silence. So that one's done. You move it over like this. Okay. What if you do the same thing here. Make sure that this is let's do this. Let's just have this part in here, and then it comes in later or something like that. You can do like that. Let's see. Okay, let's try it out, see what it sounds like. So